All right, we're going into the best of 5 semifinals. We're hopping into this game a minute in as Creator is the Protoss in the top right. He's, of course, harassing the crap. He's already damaged a bunch of BYUN'S SCVs. This is BYUN representing the Shopify Rebellion. This is the ESL Korean Weekly, or Asian Weekly, I should say. Week number, I think, 89. 800 USD prize pool, bunch of EPT, ESL Pro Tour points to get to that World Championship Finals on the line as well. And, of course, Creator has actually won a few of these weeklies in the last few weeks against very top-tier opposition. Did get eliminated last week, and now he finds himself facing off against BYUN that has just eliminated a very good Protoss player, or a couple of very good Protoss players even. He took out Cyan and then just took out Zaun. And BYUN showcasing a lot of non-stop tank production in his games. Not always, but a lot of it mixed in there. Does like that style, sometimes swapping into the biomine style. And doing sometimes an expand like this, but quite often we've also just seen BYUN wall off, build a sneaky expand on the high ground, go 3 racks. Sometimes he does the 1 base Hellion drop. Like, there's been a really good rotation of builds from BYUN. It feels like he has a very hard to predict and well-balanced TVP right now. You can see the Protoss players, they're kind of looking around and scouting for proxies in a lot of these games. In this case, maybe not so much scouting for proxies as proxying a DT shrine down here, I think. So I think he's going to build a gateway down here in a DT shrine and try to warp DTs and run them in against BYUN real early. I think that's what we're seeing. It's 2 adepts. Yeah, no Stalker, no 3rd gateway unit. Notice his Twilight Council's finishing, and he's got plenty of gas to drop that Dark Templar shrine down. Ooh-wee. And a gateway immediately. And probably starts a Stalker, or maybe just an adept, one or the other. Probably a Stalker, I would imagine, just to help defend. And let's see if this Hellion can get in there and see that the Twilight Council isn't upgrading. That'd be really big for BYUN. Even just killing a few workers could be pretty good. Gets 2 guys on those first shots. Ooh. This is a really good start. 2 probes. Nice damage for BYUN. And he's got to wonder, where are the units at? Okay, drives on into the main. Oh, and look, he starts Glaives just to fake an upgrade, just so that BYUN sees it. Kills the Hellion, cancels Glaives. Okay, so it does look a little sus, though. You're like, hey, where are the Stalkers right now? You've got an Adept at the front and an Adept at home. So I'll tell you what I think in that scenario, guys. Whenever I see a player who's not building any Stalkers while going Twilight, I think, are you really going Blink if you're not building Stalkers? Hello? I'm thinking about Oracles and Dark Templar. Now, because he scouted the main, he saw the Twilight Council. So obviously not Oracles. So I guess if I see Adepts instead of Stalkers, I think Oracles or DTs. If I see a Twilight, I know it's DTs. And that's why we see a very quick Raven. He's still going to do this Marine drop, see if he can find some damage. And there's no blink for him to worry about here. He can even do some hot pickup micro. So just picking off a little probe here or there. I mean, this is a really good start for BYUN. And that Raven's going to pop in about, what, 15 seconds? First ET is now walking in. It's going to arrive there in about 15 seconds. Not a great start for Creator, but you know what? There's not a lot of damage dealing units here either. Looks like that got pushed back. So he shouldn't be able to kill this DT too quickly, but the timing there. Raven! BYUN! Raven! Oh, BYUN not paying attention. He just built the Raven because it was part of his build. You can see him immediately F2 everything home there. He had the perfect setup, the perfect timing. 5 SCVs do go down, make it 6 to another 7, 8. Well worth it. This was a beautiful play by Creator, and this has already worked out. Now these Marines are he's trying to force field it. He's trying to trap it. Oh, well done by BYUN. You can see he was trying to block with the Marines. Oh, BYUN. You handsome devil, you. 3rd Nexus on the way. Very far along, actually. And looks like he's going to morph a defensive Archon, a battery in each base as well. Okay, Creator ready for a bit of a counter push here, and that is indeed what is happening. Could be 2 auto turrets. He's got to keep the Raven alive. There's no blink or anything, man. Dude, this build doesn't have an Immortal yet. Does he just lose his 3rd to this? He's got 3 Stalkers, 2 Adepts, and an Archon. That battery better overcharge, and that Archon better kill a lot of stuff. Get back, Creator. Creator's got to get out of there. If he loses any of these units, it's a big problem for him. I mean, remember, this is not Stim. This is not Shields. This is just a pack of Marines, a Widow Mine, 2 tanks, and a Raven. And it's going to start doing some damage. He really wants to hit that pylon and take that down. That Archon gets a very good hit. Overcharge goes down. Interference Matrix does take the damage off one of them. Oh, the overcharge only going to last 6 more seconds. And he's just going to leave. Oh, BYUN! I would have stayed. I would have said, look, this guy is so caught with his pants down. I need to do more. But BYUN's like, no. Because look, Stim, +1. All these upgrades are about to kick in. I know he's warping a units non-stop right now. Charge or Blink could be about to kick in. Look, if I lose these tanks, that really hurts me in the long run. I'm just going to pull home. I've got a 3rd CC starting now, pre-7 minutes. 3 barracks going to be pumping out bio. We're going to start Marauders, combat shields, combat shields, combat shields. Widow Mines in Medivacs. Now, there is an Archon drop for Creator. If that gets a bit of damage, this already 16 worker lead could become even scarier. Well-placed turret on the edge. Very well-placed. Always a good idea to have that to help zone out that Archon drop. Means it's got to come into a much more dangerous area and drop. Whereas if it can get in on the edge, kill some SCVs, get out on the edge, it's a much less risky maneuver for the Protoss player. Now, 2 Forges are there for Creator. So he's actually going to go a double upgrade style. Pre-starting his first Colossus. But I think that Colossus starts up now. 300 minerals there. There we go. Yeah, nah. He's got a quick 4th. Dude, Creator's economy is lit. It is lit, as the kids would say. What does that mean? I mean, it's on fire. There's a lot of analogies we say when something's doing well to say that seem like fire, right? It's burning up. Actually, that doesn't, no, that's kind of different. Anyways, 4th and 5th barracks are on the way. Medivacs are building Widow Mines as well. And 8 Marines are going to unload in the main. The shadowy corner of the base, which Creator does not see. And from the darkness, they devour. 8 Marines. Oh, he goes for the Forge. Heal with the battery, heal with the battery, heal with the battery. Overcharge. Well microed by Creator. Gets a Stalker there. Not bad. Remember, there's no Blink in this game, guys. There is no Blink in this game. Not even started upgrading yet. Creator's on pure ground army right now. Zealots charge in. Oh, man. He's got Interference Matrix as well. He can lock down that Colossus with a Cuck Matrix. Archon Zealot in the main base. Oh, the Widow Mines are there. They're going to try and just let a few more units come out before he fights this. Oh, the Stalker's tried to blink on the Raven so he could defend with DTs, but the Raven's still alive with 68 hit points. We're going to keep that selected. He's trying to bait these Archons into the Widow Mines. Oh, okay, get some good hits. There's a DT there as well. Oh, that DT's going to do a lot of damage. BYUN killed the 3rd and 6 probes. Remember, there's a 4th up for Creator. And BYUN's a player who doesn't have the ability to take that much of a beating. So even though these fights are going, I would say, overall far better for BYUN, he's taking damage, and he's not in a strong position. His 3rd orbital's only now making 44 SCVs, which is 2 base workers. Creator immediately pops the 3rd down. He's got a 4th up. If he can get those probes mining, dude, get over there. He's got to get that base up. I still think this is obviously good for BYUN, just because that army disparity, I mean, that's going to be hard for him to not leverage it. But it does mean that BYUN needs to use that army advantage. He needs to leverage it in the near future. He can't take too long. Cleaning up the right-hand side map control. He never got rid of the DT Shrine, guys, and that is a big issue in terms of the Zealots can warp in without him even building a Warp Prism. Those run-bys can cause him a lot of trouble. The Warp Prism's still there. He's got 2 Vikings. Oh, I mean, there's no reason to let this still be hanging around. The Viking will stop another warp in at least, and the turret in the top left did go down. There we go. Finally cleans this up. Big attack on the left side. Perfect positioning. Probes exposed. And look at that interference matrix. Oh, he even shuts down one of the disruptors and kills the other ones before they can fire. BYUN is on fire tonight. He takes game 1 against Creator in this best of 5. Right, down here in the bottom left-hand side, map 2 Oxide, it's going to be BYUN. And he's opened up pretty standard here again. Now, that's interesting. I think it's because his opponent, Creator, is a greedy defensive boy who always scouts early every game and then plays super safe. So you can kind of count on him playing safe with Creator. So I feel like, I mean, you could argue that DT proxy play wasn't that safe, right? So he does mix in some different aggressive builders, but generally he's a very safe player. And I guess for whatever reason, BYUN hasn't tried the wall him off and do a 1-base version, or do a gas first and get your factory up before the command center. He hasn't tried it just yet. Now the probe, waiting for him to get 400 minerals. Notice it starts blocking just as BYUN gets close to 400 minerals. Very good timing by Creator. He wants to maximize his annoyingness here. Does he pay a price for it? Yes, he does. Oh, as if! I thought BYUN got that. I really thought BYUN got that. So for those who don't know, Creator and BYUN were teammates for many years back in the early days of StarCraft 2. Let me know what BYUN says there, guys. I'm pretty sure he's like, I'm pretty sure that should have died. What the shit, man. Protoss Ember. But, Creator doesn't even shit talk in Korean. He's like, hello. Fuck. He wants us casters to know what they're saying. He's like, I'll translate for us. But yeah, so Creator and BYUN were both on Prime back when I lived with them for a little bit. BYUN was only in the house for a short time while I was there because for a period of that time, he was actually put in a GSL group with someone else from the team. So for a few weeks, they basically drew straws, and he drew the short straw. And so he had to go back and live at home with his parents and practice there because if you have two players practicing in the same room while preparing for each other, it's just too easy to accidentally see each other's strategies, you know, cheat a little bit. It's too easy to get access to their computer while they're sleeping and look at their replays if someone wanted to do a dodgy. So just an interesting little thing was that BYUN actually wasn't in the house for most of that period. Because of that, he drew the short straw. But Creator, one of the hardest working players back in those days, that was 2012. BYUN was a decent player. And Creator was soon to be runner-up to the World Championship and was a Codes top 8 mainstay. So tables have turned a little bit since then, with Creator being a bit more of a gatekeeper in GSL and not even making it in quite a few seasons, often falling out in Code A, dropping to people like Special and a few others. Whereas BYUN obviously went on to win not only a GSL but a World Championship in 2016. And what a change of fates that was, right? It was in the post-Prime days, after or slash maybe even around the time when Prime did get caught for a match-fixing scandal. Some of their players had been throwing matches in Pro League, apparently. And no surprises, since they were at the bottom of the table, it was them that were involved. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about this build. We've got Marines, Raven, Tank, and a lot of Marines, so he could do a little pushy push. Hellion plus landed Viking trying to intercept the Adept. Now, what does he know? He knows there's a factory and a starport, does Creator. He's playing real cautious. No third base yet. This is a 3-gate blink, guys. This is not a super aggressive 4-gate blink. This is just a super safe play from Creator, and he drops a nice quick Robo-Bay. So it's going to be a blink into Colossus. Very defensive, kind of tech-oriented macro play for the Protoss. And BYUN, on the other hand, adding a second barracks. Let me guess. Third barracks as well right afterwards. There was a while in the meta where everyone was going 3 command center. And it became almost standard to see a lot of people go third CC before extra barracks. And these days, it is so assumed that the Terran is just going to go second barracks, third barracks. The only real question mark, as he does finally clean up that Hellion, we see that tire rolling around a little bit. The only real question mark is, well, are you going to get your 4th and 5th barracks or your 3rd command center first? Are you going to go mega all in on 2 base, like really just giant army looking for a fight all game? Or are you going to go just, I'm still trying to kill you and looking for a fight, but I will get a 3rd at some point before the 11-minute mark? Damn. Oh, Viking landed. Gets 1. Gets 2. And the rest are in shield battery range. Not going to find nothing. Hits the assimilator there. That Viking have a bit of an identity crisis. Not sure what he wanted to achieve. Raven has driven down the right side of the map. I believe the observer may have seen it crossing. Stalkers are containing at the front. Third base ended up going down just before the 5-minute mark. I'd say overall, this is a pretty good situation for Creator in that he's at above 50 probes. So a nice, healthy, just a small worker lead, but a healthy one since no 3rd command center started. But he's very high on tech. It's a sentry, 6 stalkers, just a very minimal squadron at the front, just enough to one-shot a Marine. Raven does catch an observer. And he's gone straight into more Colossus. He's going up to 6 gateways. So he's really, I mean, he's bare bones. Right now, push comes to shove. This army, when Stim Shields +1 kicks in, it will easily beat Creator's army. But Creator's going to hug his defensive angles, hug his shield batteries. And as the Colossus count grows, as the Stalker count grows and starts to zone things out and maybe even catch some of these harassment units on the map, that's where things get really difficult for BYUN. Ooh, Observer barely doesn't see that. I've told you guys though, look at this drop! He does this all the time. BYUN's dropping is actually insane. It's actually insane. Creator snipes the Raven. Unload, BYUN, what are you doing, dude? Yeah, the way he drops like that, I'm like, why would you not go along the edge? He does it all the time. I've been shouting at him for the last week, and it's not even because it's bad. It's not me saying this is the wrong way to play the game necessarily, because you can't always play super safe in StarCraft. It's just, I'm a BYUN fanboy, and he's giving me a heart attack. I'm getting palpitations. I'm getting chest pains. Yeah, it's just, it's stressful, man. Have a thought for your fans, BYUN. 5 barracks now coming up. 3rd command center will head out. Getting the Raven's huge. Means this observer now has map dominance. He does not realize it's there. One little creepy pervert watching from the shadows. And the Colossus army grows. This feels like a pretty good game for Creator. The fact that he's even in supply just tells me he can probably make Archons and win. He's got a Prism. He's making a 3rd Colossus. Honestly, if he drops the Templar Archives and morphs in 2 or 3 Archons, like a bunch of Zealots, and then he'll hit 1,000 gas, 3 Archons, hits with +1 armor, he can probably kill. And it looks like he wants to go even before then. Tanks are going to get some shots off. He's very clumped in there, but dude, where's the bio? Oh my god, so much bio off to the right. It didn't stim yet. Oh no. He needs those Vikings to get those Colossus. Oh, he's got 2 Vikings. If he can kill the Colossus, it's all worth. It's all worth. It's okay to trade the tanks out if you can kill the Colossus, but the Prism is now there. Oh, the Stalkers are in the open though. He might be able to take this fight, BYUN. Dicey. Does end up backing off. But still, it was such a good start for Creator. He's got 2 Colossi out again. And he's just going to build a 3rd one, rebuild it. If he can catch BYUN out of position. And BYUN's actually pulling some SCVs over. I guess he's repairing the Vikings. Ah, okay. Really showing some respect to how important those Vikings are. He messes up the repair because he flew over the impassable terrain. So Army's found a nice angle. This 3rd's very hard to defend. Very hard to defend if you don't have the ranged advantage, because this terrain kind of chokes you up in here. They can get a really nice concave going out there, of course. It's a lot of Zealots, a lot of melee units, so you can pull back behind the command center, but Creator using great hold position micro to avoid that scenario. And Creator's just looking for these picks. He's not overcommitting just yet. He's just kind of like, yeah, grab a Marauder, blink back. Pick off some SCVs, pull back. And look at this, he's warped in sentries. So that's his insurance. If BYUN tries to lift the command center, stim and jump on him, he can just force field it off. Oh, this is so good for Creator. I think Creator's checkmated him because he's just worn off all the hit points. BYUN has no medevac healing, and he's in the orange. One more stim, his units are in the orange and the red. His command center's weak, his SCVs are weak. He's going to have to lift the command center. He's going to try and repair it right now. This is a bad position to be in right now for BYUN. He's down in the army supply versus Protoss, who has equal upgrades. There's 3 Colossus, a Warp Prism. They're able to pick up those Colossus and dodge projectiles from the Vikings and Marauders. This is a disastrous situation for BYUN. He needs to find a way to win this fight, but remember, his bio is very bruised. He's going to siege a tank, which is a lovely defensive unit, but I honestly think he needs to just go take the other base, because this position, he is bleeding out so much value by just getting chipped away at here. Creator using his range advantage so well. BYUN, give up this base. The other base is much easier to defend than this one. A lot of Terran players love this expansion because it's convenient on your attack path, but when you're in a defensive stance, whether you're saying, oh, he kills his own medevac, panic from BYUN. And here we go! A giant Zealot arc comes on in, and we see this angle. It presents such a wide choke point, such an arc they can engage from. Creator tries to take advantage. The SCV's actually held position. He keeps his command center alive. The Marauders go out the right. BYUN actually kills a lot of the Protoss army, but the lack of healing, the stim wears off. There's still 2 Colossus there. Archon starting to warp in. I was talking about that minutes ago. Creator really waited on it. He just did so much with Stalker Sentry, Colossus, Zealot. But those Archons are yet another layer of problem here for BYUN. 4th Nexus on the way. So yeah, this base is much easier to defend, guys. The reason is they need to attack into either a choke, or you can pull back to here and here even, and they've got to actually push up these ramps, which become death zones for them. Or you can at least concentrate your army in the middle, and it's kind of hard for them to engage both sides, especially if you wall off the right. So they've got to take rocks down to open that up. The other base is just a lot easier to defend when you are turtled up on the back foot. And that's why, for instance, if you're playing mech against a Zerg, you're worried about them swarming you, always go for this 3rd. If you're behind against a Protoss, you're turtling with tanks, always go for this 3rd base. If you're Maru and you're playing Rogue in a GSL finals, always go for this 3rd. Shout out to those of you who watch the Season 1 finals. He always takes the wrong 3rd versus Rogue's Mass Roach. It's so sad. To be fair, there was other things which made him lose that game, but it was part of it. BYUN'S going to try to just survive and weather the figurative storm. Gets a Stalker. Now, I mean, this army, if he can get some ghosts out, would be great. But without ghosts, I'm like, you actually need to like wall off this area so your tanks can't get jumped. If the Zealot Archon gets on top of the tanks, Colossus can mess with, just destroy the bio. And look, he's going to open this up. What do you do? Build depots here? I don't know, man. It's just I'd much rather be pulling back to here and here than be out here in this somewhat open area. Obviously, he can pull back and limit it to just this choke point. Most of his tanks are still on the left. If that front tank goes down, though, Creator can just isolate him and push his natural. Oh, a big push. Hallucinations to tank. Mass Zealot Archon Colossus. Ooh, lordy, that's a giant Protoss army, and Marauders and tanks are just not that efficient at clearing out Zealot Archon. You can see it takes too long to clear out those units. Ghosts come down 15 seconds too late. They can't join in, they can't drop the EMPs on the Archons. And the Marauders and the tanks just can't clear the fodder in the front of that army. Creator man modes his way through and ties up the series. Next map. Up in the top left, representing Shopify Rebellion, it's BYUN. And his opponent, it's Creator. It's going to be Lightshade, a very aggressive map. So I wouldn't be surprised if Creator goes 4-gate blink on this map. And that's why this is actually the specific map. I played Creator in a tournament recently here, and he did exactly that. So I actually have been casting so much Creator, I feel I have a good read on what builds he'll do on what map to some extent. Not completely predictable, but the fact I can guess it half the time, I'm like, ooh, this is awesome. He almost always gate scouts, by the way, in this matchup, or sometimes he sends his first probe across, the Zest style, to quickly scout and harass the opponent. So I actually think Creator will probably go 4-gate blink here, and I'm curious to see BYUN has not sent another SCV, which means he's not going to wall it out. And this was just a barracks gas, so BYUN's doing a very standard expand opening. Now, I think the strongest build against 4-gate blink is if you actually do 0 pressure as the turn, take a quick third command center, turtle up with tanks. That is my favorite. Wait, did they reconsolidate Marauder attacks into one? Wriggle says it's been 3 years. Really? They did that? That was one of the Terran buffs. Ah. Are you sure it's been 3 years, Wriggle? So guys, I was just saying in the break between the games that people are asking what's better, armor or attack. And I was like, oh, well, you know, armor's pretty good actually against Terran because whether you're Zerg or Protoss, it makes your units survive the Marines really well because they attack so fast, right? Low damage but frequent attacks, so you get a big percentage. Then the Marauder, I was saying because it has 2 attacks, which is something they did in Legacy of the Void, which made the Marauder super shit at killing anything with high armor. Ultras, anything like that. And especially because the Ultras used to have even more armor at the beginning of Legacy of the Void. Like, it was kind of crazy. Like, early Legacy, you had tanks that could pick up in medevacs in siege mode, this sort of stuff. But yeah, they had 2 attacks. And so because of that, you get double armor modifiers on it. Same with Vikings, right? So I was saying between the break, yeah, so Marauders, because they have 2 attacks, they did fix that apparently 3 years ago. There's a lot of details in this game. What can I say, man? I was actually watching the Age of Empires Wallaloo 5 Red Bull tournament the other day. Last night, I think it was. 2 days ago. And I saw T90 just realized that the outposts get plus vision range. Which oh shit, I can't even remember which faction it is. But it's one of those like rare teamers. It's like, your outposts get +3 vision. And it made me feel so much better that a guy whose whole life is Age of Empires didn't know one of the Civ bonuses in that game. I was like, sweet. The number of times I get caught not knowing stats of units or forgetting that things have changed. But I actually have an excuse. They've changed the stats and the balance 1,000 times in StarCraft over the years, man. It all blends into one. I'm old, my brain is shit. And these Marauders commit way further than I thought they would. They need to get the fudge out of there, man. So you guys know that I'm a really big hater on this build. I actually feel like it's almost a free loss against like maybe 50% of the Protoss arsenal. If they go for an Oracle, they just kill these Marauders. You've also got very little anti-air at home because you've got so few Marines. It's just such a bad opening against so many things Protoss does. In this case, it forced a shield battery from Creator. They did catch an Adept on his side of the map with a concussive, which is best case scenario. And he manages to kill another Adept there. It dodged the first, what was probably going to be the final shot, we thought, by shading, but then he still managed to get it. I mean, he does something. He forces a response. But I feel like you just give up so much by investing in the early tech lab. Your marine count is so much lower. And you are a little bit weak to those blink attacks. So is this 4-gate? Only 3-gate blink, and the robo's kind of late. So I think it's fine. He's not going to get hit too hard because Creator's going to play very defensive. But there's been a lot of games from Clem and other players in tournaments where I've been like, this is a really close, hard-fought series. They pull out that Marauder build, and I just am not a fan because I don't see it go well. I see them lose so much momentum and end up in a big problematic scenario. Wriggle's now shouting at me in my chat saying, excuse me, did you not notice that Marauder's good again and can kill Ultras? They also lowered the Ultra by 1 armor by 1 or 2. And a bunch of other things changed as well. So I'm not sure if it was the same time that those two things happened. But it was definitely a pretty drastic change in that dynamic. I think it was maybe just one armor change on the Ultra. Not 100% sure. But I didn't actually play too much Terran at a high level in that era, so. Oh, these Stalkers doing damage. Now, you're not going to commit with this, are you? Wait, actually, there's no splash damage. There's no splash damage for Beyond here, guys. For Creator. But does it matter when you've got such good Stalker control that you're picking off a Marauder, 3 Marines already without losing an extra Stalker? Or without losing any Stalkers, in fact. Starport is building Medivacs. Beyond's going to back off for now. Now, if those get caught, this is a huge gamble. They go down on the map. It's very bad. But if your opponent is attacking you, pressuring you, you spot their army on your side of the map. These Marines just wait up here, or here, in fact. And then you stim them in their 3rd mineral line, and stim Marines do so much damage. You can kill like 10, 15 probes. This is one of the best biggest payoffs for reward ratios, I think, in TVP that people don't use enough. And look, he stims on the Stalkers to keep it busy. He gets a Stalker, he gets 2, he gets 3. Dude, he just got 3 Stalkers, but because the Stalkers got pushed back here, he says, it's not time to go. Pull those Marines back. So he might want to feint down the bottom of the map with this army, pull the Stalkers down here, and that'll be the time to stim in there. And if he's super Gosu, he might even be able to run away after hitting that mineral line. So notice, look, you see Creator's tracking his army with the Observer, and Beyond can assume as much. Look at that, the Marines go in, but, there's a Colossus nearby. Could still get a lot of probes. Let's see how quick Creator reacts. Oh, he's stimmed in. Oh my god, that reaction was so fast. Only 4 probes, now he's got to stim again and run. Run. Oh my god, he dives. Ooh, okay, but then, a lot of his units get caught. Force fields. Pretty good there. The Widowmine's going to cover his retreat. Beyond scrambling back home. Great respect for that army. And he's not too far behind on workers. +1 armor is going to be kicking in. So he's got a good little upgrade lead for now. But of course that usually stalls out as we don't see an armory early on for Terran players. Observer coverage, very good for Creator. He sees this double drop. Right now he's on 2 Colossus, 1 Immortal. Does he have charge? No charge. Blink's done. He has not started charge yet. That's a mistake at this point, guys. If you're on 8 gateways, you haven't started charge, that is just, it's a mistake. And that could cost him in a big fight, potentially. Just depends when he realizes and when Beyond forces the issue. Right now, it looks like Beyond's just playing a macro game. Building Bio, Vikings. Or only 4 medevacs into Vikings. This is an SCV pool, probably, for Beyond. So I think because it's Lightshade, he did an SCV pool earlier today on this map as well. I do think it's going to be that. These guys just pass right by each other. The reason is for medevacs, you can't do a lot of maneuverability and healing. So this is a kind of a one-punch frontal army if you commit to Vikings this early. Where, yeah, okay, so he's going to maybe hit with like 3 Ghosts and 8 Vikings, I think. And just try to like kill. Whether or not it's an SCV pool, it's a very one-punch army. We're not going to see too much bio roaming the map. Even that double drop in the south, you can notice very conservatively placed. Now, dude, you just lost Zealots? Creator wasn't looking. He unloaded the Zealots and looked away. He still hasn't realized he's forgotten charge. He still hasn't realized. Widowmine drop comes in. Looks like it only gets 2 probes. Can he get a big one over here? Great reactions by Creator so far. Just mining time. 3 probes. Absolutely does not mind losing that. And this medevac will try to get out of there. I mean, he's going to try and push through the middle. He's only got 4 Vikings. He's actually going to go second eBay and Armory. Okay, this is an odd style from Beyond because, I mean, his Viking count is not big enough to actually super frontal force a fight. But I guess he can still probably deny a 4th base. I think he can... Watch out, Disruptor Shot gets one, Widowmine. Vikings, though, getting some damage. Battery Overcharge might have to go down. It does. Oh, he catches this army in the open, though. He catches that army in the open. That Colossus, though, roasting the Marines. This is a dangerous maneuver from Beyond, and this could backfire really hard. But those Colossus, the Marauder focus fire on the Colossus, they all fall. A ball comes in big for Creator, though, lands in the bio. I don't think it's enough, though. Beyond still has a few medevacs healing. He's killing some of these units. I think he's got to back off, though, because there's actually nothing left here for Beyond. Beyond feels like I've got an opening. Let's do damage now. Oh, this might turn south. Let's see how it goes. He almost gets the Disruptor, and he's got to pick up and leave. Yeah, he only gets a few more probes there for now. Of course, I think seeing the 4th base, he feels like I've got to kill that at least. And it is just Stalkers for the most part. The Vikings do lure those units away, and he will get the 4th Nexus. Doesn't want to lose all these units, though, so notice he even stims to run away, which is a good decision. And behind this, 2-2 does start up. EMP upgrade is there. He doesn't have any ghosts yet, as he's just rebuilding his Marine Marauder count, and he has swapped back into that medevac production after clearing the Colossus. Of course, the swap back into Colossus is a very viable decision, as the Vikings landed. They sacrificed themselves, so it's almost a no-brainer for Creator. Probably after these 2 Disruptors, if he gets the money to go back into Colossus production. 2-2 is starting for Protoss. It's not too far behind. I love Creator's willingness to go double upgrades. Still no charge on these Zealots, man. Creator, dude, still no charge. How has he not noticed yet? He's still making Zealots. I mean, they're tanking okay. But Beyond gets another Disruptor. Any Stalkers and Sentries that go down are hard to replace. Beyond's got to pull back, does he? Looks like a Liberator went in there, or maybe a Viking landed. 4 probes go down. This Viking, I mean, a Viking beats a Stalker one-on-one, but 2 Stalkers can take that trade. It will go down. And I think this is such a messy situation. Still no charge for Creator. He's doing the Zest. It's on purpose. He says the Zealots are just for tanking. Oh, actually, yeah, I'll give them shoes, I guess. Finally, he's going to get that upgrade there. Uh-oh. Nice, load up into the main base. Here we go, and that 2-2 is looking like a mighty fine target, is it not? I would click that forge, dude. I would be too tempted. I'd be like, fuck it, we're just killing that, and then pick it up and leave it. There's a lot of Stalkers there, mate. Uh-oh, he's got to... Oh, no, this is hard to get out. Yeah, targets 1, targets 2. Only gets 1 of the full medevacs. Beyond is okay. He's rallying in the front. Remember, this is the sort of style that exacerbates Beyond's risk. This is not a non-stop tank style. He swapped back into the Widowmines, and so he will have a few more wrist and forearm issues if he keeps playing this sort of constant rallying across the map style. His APM almost at 400 here. Okay, only 1 Marauder for 2 Disruptor shots. Another cancel on the 4th. Uh-oh. Okay, no, there's still a Disruptor shot there. Uh-oh. Oh, kill the Observer, pull back. Beyond... Honestly, the way he pushes is so dicey. It's so dangerous. 2 Widowmines for the Disruptor shot. Well done by Creator. Creator's going to push him back. And he's so clumped for the Colossus shots, but his kiting is very good. Oh, he turns around too early. Uh-oh. Creator there getting confidence. Blinks forward. He wants to hunt this army down. Creator has a Colossus out. 2 Disruptors, 19 Stalkers, 4 Zealots. It's a mostly Stalker army. Mostly Stalker. I mean, that's a shit army, guys. It loses to 2-2 bio. Even with +2 kicking in, Creator's still down 1 upgrade. Why is he still out here fighting? I don't know why Beyond's still out here fighting. He's got to actually pull back and disengage. Let his units heal up. He's got to stop stimming. He needs a second to get his units out. I think he needs to pull the SCVs here as well. Oh no. Dude, Beyond... I think he's overextended in this game, and he's given up his momentum. Now Creator's able to just pick at him from the edge. Oh, look at this. Just nice old position. The Zealots come forward as he jumps in. The Disruptors were saved by the Prism. Another ball dives forward, gets 2 Marauders. No way. Is Creator going to fight his way back into this game? There's still a lot of Marauders in the back. The Vikings. Focus fires the Vikings. Keeps the Prism alive. Zealots tearing up the mineral line. Creator maintaining a great angle. But the other Disruptor does go down. That Colossus, though, 17 kills. That Colossus has been dealing so much damage. It's an absolute nightmare. Beyond is going to have nightmares about that 1 Colossus that just will not go down, raining down death and destruction on his army. His SCVs are not attacking right now, and they do take a few shots. Dude, this is down to the wire. Every unit counts. Oh, hot pickup on the Prism. The Colossus is up to 29 kills. It's a goddamn Executor. Dude, this Colossus is so high in the Protoss Cabal, it can order a planet to get purified just because he doesn't like the smell of it. That Colossus can be like, no, there's dirty frog people on this planet, let's burn it to the ground. That fucking Colossus is a psychopath, dude. The Disruptor are not doing too bad either. Creator making this game way closer than it has any business to be. But you know what? The Bio Army's looking pretty big. There's still no healing on the medevacs, though. Every stim makes them so weak. Dude, he does get another Disruptor. The Vikings keep getting focused. He cannot get rid of the Warp Prism. Dude, he's overstimmed. He gets the Colossus won't go down. Wait. Oh, but everything else does. It's fine. He defends. Oh my God. All right, I take it back, Beyond. Yes, you give your fans a heart attack. Yep, I feel like I can't breathe, and it's so hard to see what the fuck is going on. And yeah, you probably gave away a bit of your advantage to get in this situation. But by golly, is it exciting to watch. You are a mad lad. And I think now you still win the game. You're down 10 SCVs, but I mean, he's long distance mining. You've got 4 command centers. That's pretty good when you're upper bases, Terran. You've got a big army advantage. He just went past 69 supply, which tells us he doesn't even need the power of memes anymore. That was a bit of a gambling Disruptor shot there. Creator has an army consisting of 1 Archon, 1 Colossus, 3 Disruptors, a Warp Prism, a Sentry, and 2 Zealots. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like just a little platter of different treats. There's no meat and potatoes. There's no main course. It's all entrees right now, and it's definitely potentially an issue. Colossus trading pretty well at range like that. 13 probes did go down there, and this basically puts Creator in the ground. It's been a long gruel, and I mean, Creator was so close to fighting his way back into this. He was so behind. And remember, when he pushed, he had, what, 1 Colossus and mostly Stalkers, which is, Stalkers are the worst unit in pitched battles. They're microable, they're very fancy, they shoot up, they shoot down, they cover a lot of different areas. They just don't do any one thing very well, so it's kind of incredible that he was able to push as hard as he could with that. Stalkers right now looking for where his army is. They grab a medevac, they grab a marauder. Nice fancy micro, but fancy micro ain't gonna handle this double drop up in the main. I say double drop, that's a quintuple drop, mate. That is a 5 drop. Oh, interesting. He actually kills one of those Disruptors. BYUN'S stands his ground against Disruptors really, really wildly. And he's going to take out the Archons. He's about to get the Colossus. He was also overwhelming the 3rd at the same time. And BYUN ties up the series 2-1. All right, next map's going to be a big one. We're going over to Romanticide. And hey, if he can win another in a row, he's going to the grand finals. It's Shopify Rebellion's BYUN. He's going to go Barracks Gas. A bit more of a standard opening once again. Normal openings against a player who he does not fear. We'll be throwing out the wild cheeses, I guess. This is Creator. Did I say... I think I said tied up the series 2-1 before. Dude, I can barely find time to breathe in these BYUN games. I think I'm gonna like... I'm just gonna pass out. Like... It's too insane, man. It's too insane, bro. Very exciting matches, and... I do like that it feels that BYUN'S playing a very balanced style as well. It doesn't feel one-dimensional, which is the feeling I've got from a lot of players TVP recently. And I mean, BYUN apparently beat Zest yesterday in a match in Susrog, I heard. I assume it was that tournament. Someone said he beat Zest in something, so I assume it was in that. He's been beating a lot of different players. Zest, especially actually in the recent weeks, online cups, he's been preying on Zest. And Zest is kind of the online king. The guy that beats Cure. Cure, of course, just defeated Parting in GSL. Like there's this whole thing where you're like, wait a second, BYUN is a lot better than his recent results show. And I think he's just kind of figuring out how to put all the pieces together and make these results a little more consistent. Now, this second depot coming down. Oh, yeah, very late. Yeah, so I realized you could do this. I've recently started experimenting with this opening. You get a Marine, then you just pause production on your barracks for like a good 20 seconds, build a factory, build a second gas, and then you drop the depot. And you're going to notice here that he's going to get supply blocked as this SCV finishes. He's at 23 out of 23. And guess what? The depot finishes just a second or two later. SCV production resumes. Really efficient, really efficient. Hellion on the way. Of course, you're very low on units, so to do that and skip the bunker, incredibly risky for BYUN. But he's like, nah, that's fine. I've got a Hellion plus 3 Marines. Whew. Seems a little dangerous to me, but to each his own. Whew. Especially on this map where you don't have a ramp. The ramp is all the way out there, which means Adepts can easily shade past it. So Stalkers, Adept Harass can cause you trouble, but Creator's just denying scouting. He's actually gone Sentry first. So he wants to just gather energy. Or maybe it was Stalker Sentry. I didn't quite pay attention. Actually, I think it was Stalker Sentry. So he's going to have an early Hallucination Scout. So he's going Blink, but it's not the fastest Blink of all time. And he's going to instead play really solid macro style where he scouts what BYUN'S doing and reacts to it. Probe outside the base here, checking there's no Marauders or like 8 Marines moving across the map, anything like that. Medevac's on the way as well. Oh, look at that. He sees the drop coming. Doesn't know that it's a Marine drop. Could think that it's a Widowmine one. And that Phoenix there, just going to see there's a Raven on the way. Second barracks starting. Factory on Attack Lab as well. Stalkers are there ready, and he's got a spotting pylon. So Creator should be easily defended against this. There's no Blink though. So BYUN probably just tries to unload on that. And when he sees so many Stalkers come forward, picks up and leaves, yeah. If it's 1 or 2 Stalkers, you might fight, do a bit of micro, a bit of dodging, picking up units and dodging projectiles, pulling the medevac in and out. Looks like the Hellion just went down there. Widowmine not able to get on location in time, unfortunately. So that would have been really nice for BYUN if he denied the first probe with the Hellion, and then the Widowmine burrows and kills the next probe. That would be a huge delay on that third base, but 3-gate Blink does get the third base. There's no Robo with this build order yet. Robo. Or is he going to do a super greedy build? Maybe go Forge, use that as his potential detection. Raven flies out, sees that there's a pylon there. He's got the Marine drop in the south as well. Tank is on the way. He's already got 1 there on the ramp. Kind of half covering this bunker. Widowmine there is going to waddle in. Sees it's a very quick third, and that tells him he's not being 4-gate blinked. Oh, does Creator realize that's there? Let's go to Creator's camera, guys. I don't think he realizes. Oh, he definitely... It was on his screen. Dude, if a bunch of probes clump up... Oh, he lost 3 probes to it. Damn. That's pretty good value. That Widowmine's like a throwaway unit at this point in the game. And he's going to do the Raven. Oh, okay. If he just double Raven... I would auto-turret and just shift-click the probes. He actually pulls it back. What just died here? Just 1 Marine he sent out to try and kill the pylon. Stalker's cleaning up. Phoenix does see a lot of biotank building up. Marine drop comes into the main. There's no shield battery there. And if these Stalkers pull out of the natural, then the auto-turrets could do good damage there as well. Good micro, though, by Creator. At the same time, as he keeps all the Stalkers alive in the main, he quickly pulls his probes in the natural. Does he keep all of his Stalkers alive, though? Yes, he does. Dude, what did he actually get there? 5 probes? And a Zealot? He loses a full drop for it. I mean, that's okay. That's okay for Creator, I think. He's up on 54 probes. He's going 1-1. And he's going Mass Zealot 1-1 upgrade. So double Forge, Mass Zealot. Does he build Archons? He's got a Templar Archive, so I think he's going to go Mass Zealot Archon. Might even get the gases and go Storm. So I've talked about how people who build tanks nonstop are very weak to just big Zealot Archon attacks. So especially we see as you take the third as Terran a little bit after that, if your tanks are out in the open, Protoss players love to jump on that with Zealot Archon. And this is a big Stalker force out front, so he's got a ton of Stalkers to slow this down. But he's obviously got to wait for them to not be stimmed and for his units to blink back whenever the units stim. Just pick off units when he can. Oh, great move by BYUN. Says, okay, we don't need to force the issue here. Let's just siege up, and when you come to get map control, we'll blast you. Okay, 3 siege tanks. He swapped into Widowmine play now. Third command center 3/4 of the way done. +1 weapons is finishing up there. Hasn't got armor queued. Sees that the third has a massive Zealot Archon, and that tells you it's all about taking an efficient fight here as BYUN. So he might try to wedge his tanks. There's a lot of Stalkers though, so you got to be careful that they don't get destroy. Oh, he's going to try and bait him. Zealots on the third. Slowing down the command center, picking off 2 SCVs. BYUN'S going to have to get SCVs back on top of all that. That Zealot will go down eventually. BYUN'S just trying to make him uncomfortable right now, isn't he? Creator's like, okay. Well, if you push on the south, I'm flanking those tanks with Mass Zealot, mate. Double Robo is now on the way for Creator in the natural. He's going to go up 3 more gases. He was on 3 gases to this point. He now goes bam, bam, bam. 6 gases. So he's coming forward. Giant Zealot run by coming, but he's got a lot of biomine there to deal with that, guys. He stims forward. His tanks are in a great position. He clicks on the battery, takes it down. And that's a dead third base. The question is, command center lifts. Pulls back to his ramp, gives up a few depots. Well worth it for BYUN. He gets a third, and look, he's going to wedge his tanks down here and then elevate into the main. Ooh, that's such a good position. And look, the Zealots can't get angled because he just pulls back to the ramp. The Widowmine's already killed some of the Zealots. Oh, he's fighting in the open a little bit. Okay, more important fight down here on the other side, the Protoss side of the map. But he baits the charge out far away from the siege tanks. Widowmine's landing. That's game. That's game. This is just too good a fight here for BYUN. Cleans up the Zealots at home. Not as efficiently as he could have. Like I'd pointed out, if you're not stutter stepping, your Zealots, your Marauder Zealots do all right. But what exceptional play for BYUN. Patient, methodical, moving forward on the map, sieging up, catching stalkers, slowly moving around, setting up in locations. And when Creator comes out fishing for information, BYUN snaps the units and repositions. This is just beautiful TVP play. And I think we may see BYUN actually win a goddamn weekly tournament for once. Beautiful series. GG.